picked this chainsaw up on a lawn sale this past summer. It's a Homelite Timberman Power Stroke 45cc chainsaw. So when I got it, it wasn't running well. It didn't cut well. So come to find out, he had put the wrong size chain on it. In doing so, I had to buy a new bar because the one that he had on here, what it did is that when they went up through here and you tightened it, this would split, so it would get stuck down inside the bar here. So I bought a new bar for it last year. Bought a new chain for it, the correct size. Well, not a chain, but you got it, you know what I mean. And then I was using it, and then I was having a hard time with it again. So this here is where the clutch goes into. Well, this is the clutch, but the clutch plates are in there. So what happened with this is, as you can see here, same thing is with the wrong size chain, it would take these big grooves into it. And what that did is when I put on the right chain, it was taking this and shimmying it a little bit. And so when I went to take this out to take a look at it, the bearing inside there just went all over the place. So I could go and I can buy just the bearing to go in there. It was like $3 or $4. But if I did that and I put the chain back on, and then where this is all chopped up here, what would happen? It would do the same thing. So I went and I found one of these on eBay, and it has a bearing in it, everything like that. So I'm just going to replace it, put this on there, and take the carb out, clean that up, and we'll go from there. So what I'm doing here, I just I took off all these little pieces here, and I cleaned up as much as I can on this thing here. I'm going to go put that in the ultrasonic cleaner. I'm going to get this brush here that's a little dirty as well. I'm going to put that in there. Let's see. So I'm going to clean up all this here. I'm going to take out the carburetor and put that in the ultrasonic cleaner. So what I'm using for cleaner is actually Simple Green. This here it's the concentrated, makes up to 5 gallons. So I'm not actually mixing it 50-50. So I'm mixing this with some water, and I put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. So let's start taking this apart so we can clean it out. So under here is where we're going to find the carburetor. I'm not going to worry about cleaning this. You know what, actually I'll probably put that in the cleaner as well with the rest of the stuff. Might as well just get it all clean, right? And those will stay in there. So I'm going to go, I'll take out as much as I can. Another thing that I want to try that I don't know if it's going to work or not is the air filter. Last year I cleaned it up as best as I could. As you can see, it's still caked right full of stuff. So what we're going to try to do is I'm going to take this and put that in the cleaner as well. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take this stuff over here and I'm going to put it in the cleaner. I'll show you that in just a minute. So I'll do that while I'm taking the rest of this apart. So this is the ultrasonic cleaning that I got. I got this from Harbor Freight. It's a 2.5 liter. Oh, come on. So what I've done is I've added water in here, and then I put some Simple Green. I have the heat on. It's still cold at the moment, and it's almost like 40 degrees in here, so that's going to take a little while to heat up, but for the moment I don't know how well that's going to work. We'll try it. I'm going to put that in there, and I'll put the brush in here, and I'll do that for now. just to see how it works. So this one here, it only goes up to 8 minutes. You have the TC over here, which is, you can turn the heat on and off, and it gets really hot actually. You have your set, so you have 90 seconds, 180, 280, 380, and 480. So the 480 seconds, it runs for 8 minutes. So once it's done running for 8 minutes, you can actually turn it back on. So that's all you do, is just press that to set it. This is to turn on the ultrasonic, and then you can turn it off at any time. So I'm just going to let this go, and we'll let it run for 8 minutes while I'm working on taking out the carburetor, and we'll see how this turns out. So to get this ready for the springtime, what I want to do is I want to take the thing just about completely apart, just clean everything out that needs to be cleaned out, and we'll go from there. So we're going to take off the side cover over here. Now if you have one of these and you go to take the side cover off without taking the top off over here, you're going to have a difficult time. Because there's 2 screws that come down here, and when they're in there, they hold that in there pretty tight. So just in case you're trying to do that. So I'm just going to take this right off. So here, I don't want to lose those. But this is the pull start here. I'm not going to put this in the sonic cleaner. It has rope in there. I don't need the rope getting all wet. So I need to make sure I know where these go, because there's long ones and there's short ones. So for reference, looks like the short one goes up over here. There's a long one, a short one, and a long one. So the long one's going on the bottom. I could take this all apart. It's a pain in the butt. I've already done it. I've had to redo this whole thing. That's one fun thing about used stuff. Sometimes people break things and they don't really care how they put it back together. But there's a little spring under here, and it has to go a certain way, and it wouldn't fit on the other where it belonged anymore, because it was worn out. So last year I just took the Dremel and cut a notch and just put it over that there. So what I'll do, I'm going to do this one by hand, get all this stuff out of there. I have some degreaser here, which I'll put in there once I clean that all out. So we have that, we have this shield here that we'll clean up. So this particular one, I'm going to actually take off this here, because it's a lot easier to work underneath it here. There's a screw under here and a screw under here. Usually what I like to do, and I mentioned this in other videos, is when I take something out, I'll actually put the screw back where it belongs if it's not going to be in the way. So that's for that part. And then I have over here, see if you can see that, this spring here, same thing, and just take those 2 out. I'm going to put these 2 screws back in. This here, it won't come off that way because it's thicker up there, so I'm just going to leave that there. So I can take this off all the way. There's 2 ways I can do it. I can take the handle apart. There's just 3 screws and that comes right apart. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to keep that right there without bending that. And we'll just leave it like that for now. So I have these here to take the carburetor off. You get this piece here that just slides out, and this is where you adjust your highs and lows. Try not to lose your nuts. These things are handy. You can get, I got this one at, where'd I get this? I don't know. I got it someplace. So I'm just going to take that right out. So now the carburetor, all it has is these 2 posts here, and it just pulls right out. But before I do that, I have the throttle up over here, and then I have the choke right here. So that just has a little clip. And then the choke just popped right out. So I have two gas lines here. What I also like to do, sometimes I forget where things are going, so I'll just take a picture. That way when I take these off, I know what went to the gas tank and then what went to the primer ball. So the way that this works is it's just like a little L right there. Just slips inside that. So make sure when you do that, don't kink your throttle cable, because you won't be able to pull it. So let's just slide right out of there. And we'll take a look at this in just a minute. What we're going to do is let's go over to the ultrasonic that went off a few minutes ago. Let's check out to see what that looks like. So here we are at the ultrasonic cleaner. With that simple green, it smells really nice. At least the chainsaw will smell nice, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this around and then have it do it the other way. That stuff, it just glides right off there. I can just rinse that off underwater and that will come right out. That's a little better. But yeah, take it back in here. So this isn't really hot yet. It's warm. It's starting to warm up. So I'm going to let this go for another 8 minutes, and we'll go back over and start taking apart that carburetor. So I get the Sunday funnies out. This is actually, I don't know how old this is. 2012, August. Oh, it's almost 7 years old, but that's okay. So here I have the carburetor. I just want to take things apart as much as I can and get this all cleaned out. So something this small, I'm not going to use the drill. I'm going to make sure I'm in the line here. So if you look closer, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. See if we focus. Can you see that? It's got a bunch of crud on the top. So I imagine those are all down inside the holes and everything like that. Let's see if we can take this off without breaking it. So I'm just doing is feathering the edges. So gently I took that off. It is somewhat stiff. I guess I could probably order a carb cleaner for this. I mean the carb kit. I don't think it would hurt. Let me put that right there. That gasket's on there pretty good, so I'm going to leave that on. So I'm going to take this and put it in the cleaner. I'm going to leave this on. I don't think I need to take that off. So let's take off the diaphragm. So of course we have that really wicked good gas with ethanol in it. So the ethanol gets right inside there and gums everything up. That's not too bad. You can see inside there, it's yellow. It's sort of, the gas is sort of thick, so the ethanol has congealed a little bit inside there. And if we can get this off, I just want to see how pliable this is. Well, it's pretty pliable, so that should still work. So I have that off. I'm not going to put that in the ultrasonic cleaner, but I will probably clean it off with something. So inside of here you have the pump, which makes the diaphragm go up and down. I'm going to leave that. There's a little screw in there which holds all that in there. I really don't want to take it all apart. I know it runs, but what I'm going to do is just going to let this cleaner clean everything out of there. What I'm going to do before I put this in there though is I'm going to use carb cleaner or something just to get a lot of the crap off. But I'm not going to spray it hard on there because I don't want any of that crap to go inside the holes. So I'm just going to take the carburetor cleaner and just rinse it off a little bit. See, look, I'm doing exactly what I told you I wasn't going to do. I know you guys all know it, but I always suggest wearing some sort of eye protective because I've gotten this in the eye and it's not good. It's not fun. I'm going to wash this one off a little bit. Those here I'm just going to wash off. So I cleaned that up a little bit. Let's get the sonic cleaner just turned off. I'm just going to go check that, and I'm going to probably put in the... Actually, let's go so you can see if it works or not. Alright, so this here, it's all done. It's still in there, and snowmobiles. But it's very, very loose. It's almost like a, I don't know what kind of consistency you would say that is, but I can just run that under water and that'll just come right out. So I'm going to do that. But what I wanted to show you, and I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. But as you can see, like I said, this is all dirty in there. Last year I took some compressed air, cleaned it out as much as I could. Let's put that in there, see if that cleans. It's starting to warm up. Then of course I have all this stuff here. I have this cotter pin, or whatever you call this, the C-clamp. The other clutch cover came with one, but I'm going to put that in there. It's real quick. I'm going to rub my hand across it and see how it's very greasy, so it's not coming off. So we're just going to test it. Put that in there. Put this one in here. This is just guards. Put that in there. Actually, I'm going to put that this way. And then, now where I can fit this on there, I'm going to put the cover on it, keep the heat in, and then we're going to set it again for 8 minutes, and we'll come back and we'll check that in 8 minutes, and if it needs more, we'll add another 8. So I just took this cover here and took my shop towel real quick and rubbed over it. That came out real nice like. Look at that, huh? Almost like brand new, except, well, that, yeah. There's a couple of spots in there that I couldn't get with the towel. And honest with you, I really didn't try. But I just wanted to try it out to see how well it cleaned out. It actually went really well. I could actually get something and clean it out, but there's no sense. It's going to get dirty again, but I just wanted to get the crap out of there that was in there in the first place. But yeah, that looks pretty. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this here Take a Ziploc baggie. Place that in there, that in there, and that in there. Like I said, I'm not going to put those in there. Those, I don't want those to get ruined. So there's two reasons why I'm putting this in the Ziploc baggie. One of them is because I don't want to change out and clean out the whole thing with the Simple Green. I'm going to leave that in there for a while, see how long I can keep using it. So that's one reason why I'm putting it in here, so none of the contaminants in there is going to get in here. The second part of it is if I'm just running straight water or anything like that, what you can do with a Ziploc baggie is just put your small parts in here. That way you don't have to run a complete tank. You can basically, and I'm just going straight with this one, you can fill it up with water and then you can just put this in there. Oh, that stuff smells good. I'm going to try to get out most of the air. So, like I said, that's in there. It's cleaning it. I could use other solvents and stuff like that. I do not have any. I do have, like I said, I have, the Simple Green is not a degreaser. I do have degreaser here. Just a rule of thumb, never mix chemicals, because you don't know if they're going to blow up on you. So, just in this instance here, the Simple Green is just going to clean my carburetor for me. So I'll come back in just a minute when the sonic cleaner is all done washing the air cleaner, and then we'll go from there. What I'll do in the meantime is I'll start cleaning up some of the stuff on the side, and you can't see that. I don't want to lose that. I'm just going to start cleaning up some of this on the side here. You don't need to watch me do that, but I'm going to clean it up. We have here, I'll probably take this off. These over here are a little rusted, so I'll probably just take a light sanding and just clean those up as well. So you don't need to watch that, and I'll be back as soon as the sonic cleaner is done. Alright, so we're back over the sonic cleaner. I did the 8 minutes. This here I clean it up a little bit. To get the rest of it out, I'm going to soak this in there as well. So let's open this guy up. Oh, look at that, it looks nasty. That's getting pretty warm in there. So let's take this one out first. And again, I can just rinse that off really quick, or I can go like this. Again, this is not necessary, but I just want to clean it out. You used to be able to see the bottom. Now you can't even see an inch underneath, or half inch. So yeah, as soon as you start using the chainsaw, this is going to get kicked in again. But this is stuff that's been kicked in there for years, so. So we have that. I know the metal pieces, they look pretty good. Like I said, this is just Simple Green, so I can put my hands in here. I'd never put your hands in here when the sonic is on, because I saw someplace that it destroys bone marrow with ultrasonic on there. So that's good enough. I just wanted to get the crap off in it. This one is still get two exactly the same. Were these 1 or 2? I don't know. Cleaned up. What else we have in here? I know what we're all waiting for, but I don't want to take that out yet. There's that, but that's okay. So what are your thoughts before I take it out? What do you think? Is it going to look any different than what it is when I put it in here? The air filter. It's hard to tell when it's all wet. But I do have something else that I need. I'm going to run the carburetor in here. So I'm going to leave this in here and do it another turn. I also have this piece here that I want to put in there. And then here's my carburetor inside the liquid there. So I'm just going to set that right there. The heat's still on. I just put the cover on it so that way the heat stays in there. So let's set this for 8 minutes and let's let it go. So this just finished. I set this on for 3 cycles, so for a total of 24 minutes. Let's take this off. Come on. Yeah, that looks nice. Ooh, that's hot. I'm gonna turn the heat off. So let's check out this. Ooh, it's really hot. Let's check this out. So I'll take the towel and I'll clean this up the rest of the way. And then we have the air filter. How's this going to look? Well, look at that. It looks, you can tell it looks a little bit better. So a lot of the grease and grime and crap like that that's in there. So what I'll probably do is get my compressed air and I'll dry it off and hopefully push out. I'll do it from this way. Although you can see there's a bunch of crap in there. Much better. But that looks a heck of a lot better. I don't think I can do that. I don't think that's going to help at all. Let me try it. What I'll do with this here is I'm probably going to take this and run underneath the sink. As you can see, it's foaming up here a little bit. I'm going to run it under the sink and get all this chemical out of it, and then I will dry it. So when I do it, I'll go this way. I have a sprayer in the kitchen. Well, overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the way that came out. So I'll clean that off and we'll have that ready for when we put it back together. So here's the carburetor. Like I said, I ran it for 24 minutes And what we'll do is we'll take this over to the bench, take it all out, and I'm going to use carburetor cleaner and try to wash off all the stuff that's on there. Like I said, look, when I did this, it was nice and light green and you could actually see the bottom, but you can't now. So if you don't have one of these and you've been thinking about getting one, I highly suggest it, especially if you do small intricate things like carburetors. It works really well by cleaning them. Oh, I love that smell. For some reason it smells good. So if the chainsaw doesn't work when I put it all together, at least it'll smell good, right? But I'm going to get a towel, dry all this stuff up, clean this up, and I'll see you back over the bench. We'll take this out of the bag, run carburetor cleaner through it, clean it all out, and then I'll go dry the air filter. You don't need to watch that. And then we'll put it back together and we'll see how it runs. Alright, I knew the pizza box would come in handy someday, right? So I have a semi-clean area, a little bit of grease, but who cares? So overall it's pretty good. All the gunk is out of here. So I'm going to take my carb cleaner, rub it down a little bit. And just spraying all the little holes here, make sure if there's anything left inside there that it comes right out. So that should be pretty good there. So what I'll do is I'll get all these stuff back together. So you have this screw here, which is just an idler, which just adjusts it so it doesn't go all the way. And then now we're going to do this side, because these three holes line up, and then there's a hole right there. I don't know if you can see that. That hole. And as you can see, there's like a little nipple. Can you see that? Yeah, right there. So that little nipple will hold this in place. Just like that. There we go. So that's all on. Just make sure that this plate isn't bent up or down or anything like that on any corners, because gas will get out of there. So I think it's time to start putting it back together. Just real quick, I cleaned this up quickly. I didn't go into too much details because, like I said, it's gonna get all dirty again anyways. But I got most of the stuff out of here, up and around there. I think that's good enough. I also took out the spark plug, and right here you have, that's top dead center right here. I could tell because when I took the spark plug I could see the top. But the magnets are right here. and then that's where the coil gets the electricity from. So what I did is the magnets themselves, I was going to take this off, but I didn't know the feeler gauge. I don't even know if I have a feeler gauge. I didn't know how far this was going to come down, or if it was set, or if I had to set it. I'm assuming I have to set it with that screw there. But so I just left it there. I took some 400 grit wet dry sandpaper, and I brought it over to the side, and I just cleaned these up a little bit. You can see right here they were a little rusty right in here, so I cleaned those up, and then as best as I could I also did underneath the doohickey right there, so I cleaned those up the best as I could as well. So now what I need to do is I'm going to put the carburetor back in there. Just put a little carb cleaner. So this is the choke on this side. So what I need to do now is get I need the small ones right here. I'm going to put the choke back in. There we go. And then I had that little cotter pin. The throttle cable here. I'm going to work on this and be right back. There we go. I just had to pull out the carburetor a little bit and just sneak that in there. So push that back in. So we had these two lines here. You guys remember which one went to which? That's why we take pictures. As I thought, we have comes off the primer bulb and then goes into the lower one. You guys can see that. And then comes out of the tank and it goes up there. So those are pretty snug, so I shouldn't have to worry about them coming out or anything like that. So this is the cover that went over that. I'm just going to spray this with carb cleaner really quick. Just wipe it down with a towel. There's no sense cleaning out the whole carburetor and running it through the ultrasonic cleaner if you can have crap in there, right? So the way that this one goes is it goes like this. You have your two screws up top because that's where you screw on your air filter. I'm going to slide this down there. Just like that. Try not to lose my nuts. No cringing. Alright, so I'm just going to snug these. I'm going to alternate, that way the gasket in the back gets pushed evenly. And not do it too tight. There we go. This nice clean part here. Just sits over it like that. So this here, like I said, I wasn't going to put this in the cleaner. I didn't want the rope to get wet and worn out. But I cleaned up inside there somewhat decently. The last time I took this apart, I did grease in there and stuff like that. So that's all, working fine. So we're just going to take this, lay it over the top. And does everybody remember where these screws go? And 2 long ones, 2 short ones. Alright, so that's on. It pulls over. So you remember I took these put these back where I found them. And that's all tight. So that'll work. So now what I need to do is I'm going to go clean off the air filter, get all the stuff out of it, and then dry it as best as I can. And then I will come back, we'll install that there, put the cover on the top, and then we'll finish up with installing the blade, the chain, and the clutch plate thingamabob, and all the little doohickeys. And I'll be back. So I took the air filter inside. I ran it under some warm water, hot water. I added a little bit of soap to it, some dish detergent, used that brush, clean it up a little bit, and then I dried it out. It's been about an hour or so now, and I had it sitting in front of a little tiny fan with a little bit of heat on it. So if you remember what it looked like before, it was quite brown and not that well. So this is what it looks like now. So I would have to say that putting that in the ultrasonic cleaner did a pretty good job. So let's put this back on. What that's going to do is going to allow for better airflow, so it should run a lot smoother now. So that's on, and we just have this cover here. Oh my word, this thing still smells good after sitting for an hour. Look how pretty she looks. I guess I should have tried this out first and make sure that it was all working before I button that all up. She does still have compression. The switch, I'll turn that to off. So now what we have to do is we have to work on this side over here. As you can see, I really didn't clean this side. Why didn't I do that while I was out doing my cleanings? So I'm going to just clean this really quick. It's not going to be the prettiest because, like I said, as soon as I start using it, all this is going to kind of come back. So while I'm doing this, we'll have a little conversation. How's that? You guys have any questions? If I want to know how to do something, I go to my YouTube University. Check it out. Speaking about YouTube University, one of the people that I watch a lot, which I really enjoy watching, and just because he does the same thing, he does a lot of series of Will It Run. So what he does is he gets all these a bunch of old stuff actually, and he works on it and gets it all running. So if you're watching, Darren, I really do appreciate every time that you upload. I don't care if it's a half hour or an hour, I'll sit there and watch it. So if you guys want to know, if you guys want to go check him out, his YouTube channel is Mustie1. That's MUSTIE 1. Yeah, he's from New Hampshire. Which is about maybe 2.5 hours from here, from where I'm at. Someday maybe I'll get a hold of him, go down there, and we'll wrench some stuff together. How's that, Darren? So, I just cleaned out a bunch of crap. So, you do put that on there like that. It has a new C-pin, or what do you want to call it? C-clamp? Not a clamp. It has a piton. Wait, huh? Yeah. So it has this to hold it on. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 6:31 p.m.
Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 36 degrees. Tonight, expect a low of 23 degrees.
There you go. Alexa, what's tomorrow's weather?
Tomorrow in Norridgewock, there will be mostly sunny weather, with a high of 47 degrees and a low of 21 degrees.
Ooh, 47. More snow melting. We're getting there. So put everything away. And then, no and then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you guys so you can see a little bit better. There we go. So tell me if I'm in your way. So yeah, this definitely needs some oil on it. As you can see, a little loose. These are not tight all the way. So I'm going to take this screw over here and screw it in. Now I am no chainsaw expert on how loose this needs to be. I know that's too loose. But you can't have too tight. If you have too tight, then it'll put tension on it and it won't turn as easy. I think that's still loose. What do you think? I want to say that these have to be down some more. If I'm doing this wrong, yell at me in the comments. It's still loose. Come on. How's that? I think that should be fine right there, right? What do you guys think? Is that enough? That's not coming off. First time I start it up and cut something with it, it'll loosen it up anyway. I'm going to tighten these up. And I don't want to go like this because I don't want to cut my fingers off. So I'm going to use, see if it'll move. Oh yeah, nice and smooth. So isn't that beautiful or what? So let's move the camera, put this down on the floor, and we'll try it out. Be right back. So, my question is, how many pulls do you think it's going to take? Make sure it's on. Just real quick before I do this, can you guys see me? I think so. Yeah, there you go. Hi. So, before I do this real quick, how many pulls is it going to take to get this running? Considering I just did everything to it, cleaned it all out, and also like 38 degrees in here right now. So this is cold, the spark plug is cold, the gas is cold, and the diaphragms are cold. So are they going to work right off or what? I'm going to say, let's go 3 pulls. So that's on, and leave that open. So on, I've primed it, pulled the choke out, ooh, we got life. Let's go half choke. think that's a friggin' win right there, bud, huh? I'm gonna see if we can find something to cut, and we'll give it a whirl. I'll be right back. So let's just try this out, see how well it works. I would have to say that's the win right there, brothers. It's running, it's cutting. I'm going to have to sharpen the blade, which I have a blade sharpener. I'll do that. But I'll bring you back on the journey when I go and cut some wood. So that's this video. I appreciate you watching it. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit that little bell notification and just comment anything down below. It really helps the channel out. And I appreciate you guys watching. That's it. I'm just going to go put the pump away, bring the car in the garage. I'm sorry, I'm from Maine. It's a car. I'm going to bring the car in the garage and just take care of a few things so nothing gets frozen. And then we'll go from there. I don't know what my next project is, but I guarantee I'll film it and you guys be able to watch it. But thanks again, and we will see you on the next one.